What happens at Grandma's stays at Grandma's is a model for you and your grandkids. If it's fun, it's fair game. But lately, hip pain has you grimacing more than laughing. And that's a moment you realize life's too short to put off treatment any longer.
The Joint and Spine Center is Cincinnati's leading destination for orthopedic care, with hundreds of joint replacements each year. So when a moment has the power to change the rest of your life, go to the one place with the power to change it for the better. The Christ Hospital Health Network. This changes everything.
The Pound This Podcast is brought to you by the Christ Hospital Health Network. This is the Pound This Podcast, episode 586, Shay's Weight Loss Journey Weekly Updates.
I want to lose weight, but I don't know how to get started. What should I meal prep every week?
How do I get those sweet booty gains?
Inspiration for your healthy lifestyle. The Pound This Podcast with Amanda Valentine.
Thank you so much for listening to the Pound This Podcast. I am Amanda Valentine. Shay is back. How'd the last week go?
Hello. I had a pretty good last week. Nothing too crazy happened. It just felt like a normal week.
That's good. That is awesome news.
I know. I was like,
nothing
nothing too wild happened. We didn't have too many emotional breakdowns. It was good.
Yay.
Yeah.
So how did everything go as far as health and fitness and weight loss and all that stuff goes?
I did pretty well with food this week. And then kind of did my normal exercise. The weather is definitely helping me to like get out and walk. So still just like maintaining my weight, but that's okay for now.
Yeah, I think that is awesome right now. And I know we've talked about this before. I think many people would be like ecstatic just to maintain right now. Because I saw, I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but I saw an Instagram post just the other day that this girl was like, at this time last year, I was the smallest I'd ever been. I lost like 100 plus pounds, and I was, she said I was a size 10, and she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And she's like, and here we are, or no, this was like at the beginning of the year. And then she's like, so now I just ordered some new pants, and they were a size 14, because she's like, I knew I grew some weight. She's like, and I can't get them past my knees. And so it's like this, like, okay, like I knew I wasn't doing great, and I knew that I was gaining some weight, but to be like, okay, so at the beginning of the year, I was the smallest I've ever been. It was a 10, and now a 14 won't come up over my knees. Like this, like, you know, she didn't get into it too much because it's just an Instagram post, but kind of like, you know, that mental thing you go through of like, you just beat yourself up, but like where you have to kind of be like, well, nope, this is a starting point then.
Right.
I think there's a lot of people going through that right now, and maybe haven't even hit that point where you're just kind of like that hard snap of like, oh my God, my pants won't fit over my knees. Okay, I need to figure out a new pattern. But it's like, right. I think that's a lot of people this year. I saw somebody else, I don't know if they're exaggerating or not, said they gained 30 pounds in a month.
Yeah. A chick I follow on Instagram has gained 50 pounds since all of this started. So I'm like, if I can keep it in like a 5-pound range, I'm happy.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, it's just so like, I mean, I totally get it though. Like and I don't know if there is somebody that would shame you for gaining that kind of weight in this year, then they're a trash person, because if like, that's what you got to do to cope and deal with, you know, not only just what we're all dealing with at a base level, but then everybody's individual problems and issues that are going on this year. Mm-hmm. And some people's issues that don't have anything to do with 2020. They're just having a crap year because people just have junk years. And so, yeah, if somebody like gained 50 pounds or 30 pounds in a month in 2020, I'd be like, yeah, man, like could be worse. Like, that's no shame. But
yeah, no, my therapist says all the time, like you did the best you could to cope in that moment. Like, and I think that's all what we're doing right now. Like, even if you look back and you're like, I gained 30 pounds, like that you were doing literally the best you could with what coping skills you had.
Yeah. I mean, that's what my therapist too has said, just about like, you know, traumatic childhood stuff of like, you went to like eating and binge eating as a coping mechanism, and that's just smart. Like that's how like you chose to protect yourself and get through a really hard time. if that's what you got to do, it's just, you can't live in that forever. Like, it's just like you use it as basically your Band-Aid or your trauma response. And then it's like, okay, well, now we need to not live in that for the rest of your life. So hopefully things just kind of, and I've been hearing too, we were just talking about before we started recording, that some people are just killing the game this year and people are just thriving, which is amazing too. So it just, it all just depends. I guess just like my point is, the people that aren't having a good year is, don't compare yourself to the people having an awesome year and tell yourself that you're trash and you just like can't get your shit together because of that.
Well, because that's just going to make it so much worse.
Yeah, for sure. How has like the gym been going? I mean, I know with like with COVID and everything, like I know some people, like some places, I think gyms are closing down again.
I know.
I mean, I know what the gym is like because we go to the same gym at Cincy 360 Fitness, but is everything still going good there? Feeling good? Just kind of feeling normal?
Yeah. I haven't been going to Planet Fitness as much just because it's nice outside. It does much more for my soul to like walk outside than on a treadmill. But then as far as Cincy 360, like I never really feel unsafe there because I mean, most of the time when I work out, there's maybe like 4 other people in there, but sometimes it's literally like just me and Josh or like one other person being trained. So it doesn't feel like a big crowded gym that would be unsafe.
Yeah. Which I think there'll probably be more of a concern for people as we're going into colder months.
Right.
Of you can't go outside and, well, you can, but a lot of people won't go outside for a walk or run. Although like back when I could run, I liked running in the cold. Like it just, like it heats
I
you
even
up.
like to walk in the cold, and hell, now we can just wear our masks. We gonna keep our faces real warm.
That's
this
true,
winter.
right?
Well,
did you see that Minnesota already had a snowstorm this week?
Yes.
Like, oh my God. We got wildfires going and hurricanes and snowstorms. I'm like, man, this year.
And then it's 80 degrees here today.
Oh yeah, it's humid and gross. I'm like, what? It's supposed to be fall and delightful.
I know. I was like, this humidity is not helping my hair. Shoot.
Well, how have you been doing with food and everything? Is that pretty much just kind of on a rhythm with that?
Yeah, I'm trying to like try new like recipes like every week just because I'm finding if I'm excited to like eat whatever healthy food I have, then it's easier for me. I get bored really easily. Like I could never do what you do and eat the same food all week. I would beat my head against a wall. So yeah, I've been trying like just like new salad recipes, and then like I'm making a chicken vegetable soup. It's in my my crock pot right now. So just trying new recipes is helping me to like eat healthy, but also be excited about the food I'm eating.
Yeah, that's an awesome idea. Especially crock pot weather of just doing some big soups is a good idea.
Yeah, it's just easy. So, and it helps me now. I'm at work. I'm working more days, shorter shifts. So like when I pack for work, I'm not packing for a 12-hour day. So like, for instance, today when I work, all I need to do is bring dinner. So that's made my life a little bit easier too, because I don't have to figure out like how to pack for a whole 12-hour day. So
yeah, because that sucks. See, that's where I need to meal prep, because I'm like, I just need to have a plan for this. Otherwise, I'm gonna freak out and either not eat and then gorge myself when I get home.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to just be like, yeah, I'll snack on this donut. I'm super hungry.
Yeah, I had learned that very quickly at work that I have to make sure I eat enough during my 12-hour day, or else I will eat everything when I get home. So I do prep for those days. Like I have my snacks and everything prepped, but because otherwise when I get off at 9:00, I'll just eat my entire kitchen.
Is that a thing anymore? Are people bringing like donuts to a break room, stuff like that, like shared foods?
Honestly, I haven't really had that issue at work, and I'm hoping that will make the holiday season at work a little better, because normally our clients bring us all sorts of treats and then nobody wants to take them home, so they leave them in the break room. And it's like the hardest time of year to be at work. So Because other people can just like, you know, have a little bit of something and be done with it. If I eat it at all, I'll eat it the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm hoping maybe because of COVID, people won't bring as much crap in. And maybe I can use that as like a reason to not like, oh, all these other people touched it, so now maybe I shouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but for the most part, I haven't had anybody really bring stuff and leave it in the break room. So that's been nice.
Yeah, I was curious about that since like I don't work at like, you know, corporate job anymore. And there was food in that kitchen every single day. And I'm like, I don't think that can happen anymore. Like, I don't think that, I mean, I guess it depends on where you work and the vibe, but like, it just seems like having a box of donuts for, you know, several people to come stick their paws in doesn't seem like a good idea anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like if anything, they would have to do like prepackaged crap. So
Yeah, that makes sense. But that's such a good point with the holidays though too, because those Christmas cookies and
it's
like those,
awful.
yeah, like that.
Oh.
I mean, I think that'll probably help a lot of people if you don't have all those temptations, because it's like an entire month of just nonstop temptations of just cookies and cakes and all of that crap. So, well, I guess, you know, silver lining of COVID.
I know.
It helps
I
you
love the girls that I work with don't like cover up the cookies, like, and I just watch them. I'm like, yes, they're getting stale, and then we can throw them away. I'm like, you guys are so dumb. You need to be covering those cookies. So then I'm the one like throwing crap away all the holidays.
You know, it's bad too, because I've done this before where it's either, and see, this is where I can go with like those snacks like that. Sometimes it'd be like, that looks good, it's worth it, and I'll have a little bit and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, especially if like a PMS thing and it's a bad day and it's a tray of those Christmas cookies, and I'm like, okay, well, I can have a Christmas cookie, and I'll be like, oh, it's not even that good. But then I'll still keep eating them. I'm like, why? Yeah. Like, get away from them. Like, why can, like, I still want to, like, snack on them every time I go in the kitchen to get more water or something. I'm like, they're not even that good. So it's like, I just kind of just want to throw them away. But I feel like everybody is in the same boat where everybody's like, they're not that good, but we're still going to eat them. So it's like, let's just get rid of them.
I do. I like, if my clients give me crap, sometimes sorry, I don't think any of my clients listen to this, but I will throw it away rather than put it in the break room, because I'm like, that's one more thing to freaking sit in the break room, and I'm not taking it home. So I've been known to just throw it away.
Yeah, I don't know. There has been a couple years where I made a bunch of cookies and stuff like that, and I'm like, I can't do it because the willpower is hard to not eat all the dough, and then it's around, and like I know, like growing up, my aunt would make like fudge, like a million different kinds of fudge, and that would be her gift to everyone every year, is just making fudge. So I'm like, well, that'd be a good idea. Like, I could just make food and give it to people. I'm like, no, it's not. I've learned my lesson on that, because it's just a bunch of food for me.
Right.
And I'm like, I just can't. I'm like, when they're all warm, I'm like, but it's all warm, and of course you can eat, 5 of them. And I'm like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like a cookie is just like one bite, man. So it's just like, I've just had a couple bites, but then you had 6 cookies. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll definitely indulge for the holidays, but I don't want to go overboard more than I have to.
Yeah, like the whole month.
Yeah, I don't do that. Like, I definitely do. Like, I like love eggnog. Ooh, eggnog is my jam. So, like, whenever like Christmas Eve, like when me and my husband are just like opening presents with our, just our little family and all the animals, like I'll drink. We'll put on like Christmas music and stuff like that and open presents, and I'll drink eggnog. And so that's kind of my little routine with that, is like, I love it. So I want to have it be part of like this like experience, instead of like, oh, I'm going to have eggnog where I'm just going to slam a cup of it here and there every day for a month. Like, I love it. I'm not going to tell myself I can't have it. It's just exclusively for this day now. And that works for me, because I feel like a lot of people have to have these kind of rules put into place for holidays, because otherwise it's just so easy to go completely off the rails and have other people just pressure you into stuff. I'm like, oh, come on, it's Thanksgiving. Just have plate 5. And so
I hate that.
I know. So you have to deal with that of like, of family and friends and people hassling you. So the holidays are an interesting time of year. And I think that Halloween's a week away, and that starts off the holidays of like, here's a bunch of Halloween candy, and then we're going to go into Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything else. So it's go time, man. So if you don't have a plan, start figuring it out.
Yep.
Because we're here.
Figure that out now.
Well, I'm glad you had a good week, and hopefully next week goes the same, and we'll have to check in and see how things are going.
Sounds good.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
For info on health coaching and more, go to AmandaValentineBites.com.